Hello, Aries Ascendant. Very nice to see you. This is not for Moon or Sun, so if you're a Moon or Sun Aries, please exit and enter where your Ascendant is. If you'd like to know more about Ascendant, just have a look at a free online resource. There's so many. You just have to enter your city of birth and your time of birth, and you'll know exactly where your ascendant is. And there's probably lots of helpful people online looking at my videos, so if you've got a question, it's likely to be answered really quickly. So here you are, Aries Ascendant. I'm also kind of a lot like you in Melbourne, Australia, so let's have a look at what you need. What you need is great balls of fire, and what you need is a huge deal of need. If you can imagine a human penis, that's you. I don't mean to say this in a derogatory way, I mean to say it in a very, very beautiful way. If you're an Aries Ascendant, you are feisty and you know it, but there needs to be a huge deal for your energy to come through right and on time. If you, however, like me, because my ascendant is a little bit mixed up here in Melbourne, and you sometimes can't find the time to really do the thing you want to do, or you're talking yourself out of doing that thing you want to do, say you are a Aries moon, but then you've got Pisces sun, Pisces Venus, Cancer Mars, and you're quite unsure, just get on with it. You've got to do it. Now, if you don't want to do it, and you're wondering why the story is not coming to an end, are you sitting there twiddling your thumbs at that old job that you don't want to do anymore? Well, you gotta leave it to the next person. You gotta leave it to someone else, and you gotta be fine with that. Now, if you're not, and you're not thinking, right, there is something clenching, you may need to do a lot of curious things. You may need to be bored by somebody. You might need to get bored of yourself. You may need to tell a person a lot about you. You might need to examine your sisters especially, and people around you, and human connection, the human touch, the feminine energy, the relaxing energy. You may need to expose yourself to a lot of beauty. And I see you yawning already. Beauty and gorgeous embraces and really loving looks and really kind, gentle spirit. You may need to give yourself the time to go to the loo. You might need to get a book that you're really uninterested in and watch yourself kind of flick through the pages and sort of lay yourself down. If you are very, very tired of something, but it's not going away, it means you need to thrust elsewhere. So for example, if you've got a very, very tired experience with a person and you're not quite sure how to commit to the next phase, you've got to experience something exciting. You've got to feel like you got something next lined up. And it's not so good sometimes with relationships, and I don't look very well upon people myself who like jump in and out of experiences with people. They got one person on the phone, when they got another one in the bedroom, they got somebody else in mind. It's not nice, but sometimes for an Arian ascendant, you wonder sometimes why you're so lovable and why you're so loving, and you get sort of tugged around a bit and people want you for weird things. That's usually when you can't do it yourself, you get a love interest, you get a longing, which is both ascendant and descendant in one. So you get the partnership of Libra, at the same time you get the fire of Aries, and the ego awakens, and you want to be loved and adored. But if you don't have much of an ego, if you don't have much of a stimulus towards other people praising you and carrying you around like a baby, perhaps it's time to give it up. If you can, lay back and think about everything you don't need. Think back about, go back in time. Like wonder why that happened, wonder why this happened, like sort of lazy thoughts, and maybe even boring news on TV, boring Facebook. Lay back and think about the things that you have that are boring you. You might have a few suits you don't wear anymore, you might have a few things in the fridge that you don't drink. You need to just let other people take them, but don't force anything. Like, I got this dress, and then somebody will be like, I like that. And the more people are interested in your clothes or in your things, if you want to leave town, if you want to leave your job, if you want to leave that human being, parade yourself like, oh look, I've got this. And I've got that, and yeah, I do actually have quite a big collection of nail polish and things like that, but just like look at them as though they're nothing. And you'll get a lot of people, if you are exiting, if you're entering and exiting at the same time, like you usually line up, say, one experience comes out of the next, comes out of the next, comes out of the next, and you got it all lined up, and people feel it. Something you'll leave behind is actually worthy of you. In that state, in that blasé experience state, it would actually probably need to be picked up by someone quite quickly. For example, I've got this crystal here. It's the Philosopher's Crystal. And I'm thinking, why do I carry this around? Like, an ex-boyfriend of mine forced me to buy this at a fair. I've supported many a men and women, so basically this is something that I need to give up. With an object like this, for example, I mean, you're looking at $200-300, you know, maybe 100. I mean, it depends which currency you're looking at. But there is a sign, like when you're looking at it and you look at it and you go, oh, I'm so bored of it. There's a beauty in that. And this is something that buys you time here on earth and buys you friends maybe, or buys you something. But the bigger things that you can give, just give. I feel the bigger things that you can see later. It's like almost like you push a button here, go down, it goes, something comes up. And that's something true for everybody, everything in the world. You know, the more you release something, the more it excites on the other side, the more something else you got going on. So with me and money and me and things, that's how I basically do. I give something out and I get something more. And this is true as well as you know who to give to sometimes, Aries. You might not be quite certain as to why you've done it, but you may be able to give somebody something that you know they'll need. And when you got that match, like you're giving something that you know that person needs, like, you know, like for example, if I give this to like a person who's just sitting on the street and I'm giving it to them as a present, it's not going to sit well with me or it, like the experience, like it and the crystal. But I feel say if I found somebody who had a crystal shop and I just put it in front of them and said, you know, this is worth a lot of money, I'm just going to give it to you because I like you. There would be a funny little game on that, and perhaps you'd really enjoy that experience, and these people might actually want you energetically to give them more or to come back or something. But there is an interesting desire that is birthed within people when Aries is sick of things and is quite keen and able to give things up. And that energy, I feel lots of people will come to you exceedingly just by doing that, because the more you give in and relax and relate, you're going in the energy of your descendant there in Libra, the more money comes and the more people are enthralled by you. But the push of Aries is the most important thing. Nobody's there when the push happens. Nobody cares. In fact, most people will think you are ugly for doing something, or you're distorted in their view for something like that. Say you go, I want to travel, and there'll be at least 1 or 2 people, they'll go, yeah, right. And that is when you need to. That's when you should, because Aries Ascendant, you should be the head butter of the all, and you should be the bunch the bunch of you should be the bunch as well. Like you should be the leader of the bunch, but most importantly, like that bunch, what I mean is I don't know why I'm seeing bunch like that excruciating need, that bunching up, I guess, the bunch, the punch, that's what it's saying to me. I'm sorry, the punch. You must be the punch, the punch where people are weary and people are easily confused. And also people are easily in distortion by it. You know, like say you go, I'm going to punch in this direction, and people fear for their lives. If people are not fearing your next move, say if you're going to do a move and nobody cares, and people think you're all talk, there's a problem. There needs to be at least 2 or 3 people that go, should never do that. You should never ever do that, because that's what means like motivation and passion. Like, if you can imagine with a sexual experience, there's a little bit of that as well. And Mars rules Aries, and Aries is a very sexual, masculine sign. There needs to be a bit of, you know, no, yes, but no, yes, but no. There needs to be a wall, and through that wall comes out the best frequency of Aries. That's Aries at its best. When it's like you say no, well, I say yes. Well, you say no, I say yes. That's when it's best. But beware of putting yourself out there too far. For instance, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go to this country, or I'm going to go to this person, and then you're thinking, you're structuring, and then that's going to happen, and that's going to happen, and I'm going to have to pursue this human being for a long time. I need to do this thing for a long time. Be wary of that, because Aries, when you are wanting something, that's the thing. That's the thing that you must go with, and it's really hard for us, say Libra suns, oceanic, like Plutonian moons, like, because we're like, la 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 la, but like, say the Ascendant in Aries makes us go, like, we got to do it, we just got to do it. So don't pursue the dream beyond your own imagination. So basically, don't structure the next few days or the next few steps, the next few waves. If you go and do that, you will not give it a shot, and you'll just be sort of left behind thinking, should I have done that? Should I have not done that? I'm not sure what I'm doing. So basically, say you get the gush, and it's real. And however real it is, like, for example, for some people it might be a week. For another person it might be 2 or 3 days. For another it might be even a minute. Like, if you're very fiery, you got Leo moon, you got Mars conjunct Pluto, something like that, you're really strong, then you've got to do it pretty much then and there, because Mars pushes you forward. The inertia of the humankind pushes you forward. You've got to be that person that's almost obnoxious in their decision making sometimes, and if it doesn't seem crazy, it's not real. So beware of that. Beware of that. So when you're looking at someone and you go, they're so nice, and nothing inside of you is like, nothing is there, but you're like, they're so nice, I could definitely form a family with this man or woman. There's a wrong energy there. So basically, if you're like me and you can see beauty in anyone, and you're fine, and you're a human lover, because I got Aquarius house sun and Libra, so 11th house sun. Everyone's good. Nothing is real. So you've got to be aware of it, because you'll scatter yourself very, very far and wide if you don't be aware of that tendency to love everyone and everything, and using your sexuality in a watered down kind of general way. So if you're not feeling sexy with someone, and you're entering a scene and you're not feeling like a huge gush of interest, like to the point where you lose your words, you lose your feelings, you get weird, like, if you're not feeling this intensity, well, it's not real. And just sort of sit with that. Like, if I don't want it 100%, and sometimes Aries Ascendant will go, well, I may not want it right now, but 2 years later this person's going to be a guru, or this person's going to be a teacher, or give me something, because, Sagittarius in the 9th house, they'll give me something. They'll give me something later. I will flourish out of this person. If you're looking at a person like that, that's like, no, no, you can't, because everywhere you'll go, if you have a partner, or a person, or a decision, or a career, or a choice, life choice, even making a baby, if you got a choice and you're like, could have been, if you're like, people don't like that. And it's really, really wrong perhaps, but people won't invite you places. It's really weird, but people won't write you letters. People won't give you as much, because the descendant becomes an illusion as well. And therefore marriage can become illusionary, and people and choices and things, anything that you got Libra covering, well, that becomes a little bit of a mystery. So with you and I, we're quite similar. We're Aries Ascendant here in Melbourne. If you are somebody who struggles to make a choice, as me, Libra Sun, perhaps it's time. It's time. It's time to have a contrast. Contrast showers, extremes between hot and cold, extreme curry, and then a cold drink that burns your mouth, but you love it. But you gotta love it, and you gotta do it with zest and style. And another thing for you, Aries Ascendant, something that I haven't obviously recently been considering, is go to the gym. Aries Ascendant, you have to go to the gym, and then when you get home and you can't sleep, you gotta like die sleep. Like, you gotta completely relax to the point where you're gone. You're melted into the sheets. Where are you, Aries Ascendant? Because you're in your Libra descendant. You're completely dead. So basically, Aries, have a look at yourself, have a look at your vulnerabilities, have a look at your stabilities, have a look at everything. It's a really nice time of the year to do that as well. Jupiterian moon, beautiful time to actually talk about this. I'm wearing green, wonderful. So please take your time. If you're not quite sure, if you're like, take it or leave it, you got to leave it. Got to leave it, And another thing, sometimes you may not want to make the decision straight away, but it's there. and then you may not do the thing that you wanted to do, but you kind of like regret it. But then, for example, for me, I went to New Zealand and I felt like I shouldn't have left. And then on the plane, I just had this huge like, I'm not in New Zealand anymore feeling. And that was really funny. But sometimes you can go back, but do it quickly, unless you change your mind for a really good cause. Yes, so basically, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Aries, Ascendant. I hope to see you for readings and things like that. I got my details down there, down in the comment section below. It'll be really nice to hear you, to see you. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful transition. Bye.